Yo, what's up, guys? Hi, Spin. Hi, Access. Hi, Catcher. Hi, Myers. Hello, Bill. Good to see you. Hi, Suji. Hello, Pred. Hi, Angus. Hi, Catcher. Hi, Gin. Hi, Spider. What's up, guys? Good to see all of you. How's it going? Hello, hello. Happy Sunday, by the way. Just wanted to put that out there. Happy Sunday. Trying to see if my camera needs to be moved because you know what? I think it might benefit me to like make it a little higher. There you go. It's not bad. What's up, guys? Sometimes I forget if I say your name or not. Okay, this is pissing me off. This one's lower than this one and it's making me mad. I'm just gonna try to lower this. Ugh, whatever. Hair. Hi, Vivian. How are you doing? Good to see you. A red dress. A red shirt weekend. Hi, Axis. Hi, Raphael. Yes, happy Sunday. It's pretty happy indeed. I had a good brunch. I had some good food earlier. Where did I put my food? I'm sure it's in the fridge. Had some like good food. It was nice. It was a good Sunday. The weather is nice. Spin, did you go on your walk? I think you were just saying first. Mm-hmm. It's windy out. It wasn't earlier. It was pretty sunny earlier, but you're right. I think it did get windy. Hi, Blomman. How you doing? I do think that is a thing. I think that did happen. Yes, yes. You know what? You probably have a point. I think it did happen. But good to see you guys. I'm hoping the chess goes well today. I was thinking of trying some rapid and like seeing how that goes. What are we thinking? Yeah, I want to do some rapid. I mean, like, why not? It should be good. Like, I'm not too brain foggy or anything like that, so I think I want to do rapid. And it should be a good time. I'm excited. Have you thought about playing other games? Thought about doing just chatting. I'm somewhat high energy. I don't feel as high energy as I did the other day when I was streaming and doing very well. But that's also because I actually did not sleep that much last night. I've been really struggling with sleeping the past few nights for whatever reason. Like, I seem to wake up a lot, and I think it might do with the shift in temperature. It's been drastic and you can't really open the window anymore for the cool air. What's up, Bod? And so like I gotta put on the AC, but it's not the best. And so I think it kind of throws me off. Like, that temperature change like consistently throws me off. Like, the AC will turn off and then it'll get hotter, and then so I gotta figure that out, to be honest. Yeah. I can tell when I'm brain foggy. Yeah, I absolutely can tell. Yeah. You guys can't tell when you're brain foggy? Like, I've been really learning how to navigate that and like be able to recognize brain fog and just all that. Yeah, honestly, it's good to know, like, because I do a lot of creative work these days, and sometimes I'd be like, why the heck am I exhausted after like 3 hours straight of creative work? And turns out 3 hours of creative work is like 8+ hours of operational work. It's very like exhausting. So like being able to recognize when you're at your limit and when it's not efficient anymore is pretty good. Brain fog obviously is a little different, but I do think brain fog is caused by multiple things, not just sometimes diet, but for me, if I go on my phone and if I scroll, I get brain fog. So I've stopped doing that. I haven't done that since, I committed to not doing that. So yeah. Oh yeah, dude, I feel you. I did not sleep well either. So like, even though I had a good day, I am tired. I'm not like brain fog, but I'm tired. Hi, Diego. Good to see you. If I can really tell until I start failing at something. Fair enough. Or like when you feel like something takes more energy too. But yeah, so it's interesting because like when you do certain type of work where it requires a lot of decision making and learning, you can't really take an hour like breaks or even breaks at all until you sleep. Like, you only get refreshed after you sleep. I've noticed that, like, if I'm like working on a script for a few hours, once I'm like done, I'm done. Like, I'm not getting that energy back for the whole day until I sleep, until the day after. But, you know, so that's why sleeping is pretty important, though, because that's when, you know, your brain basically puts things into permanent memory and blah, 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 and cleanses it, blah, 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 all those fun, interesting things that the brain does. I forgot what it was called, right? Because, like, it goes through and, like, what is that part called? I forgot. Like I said, I'm not good with words. But anyways, that's probably why you need to sleep after you've been, like, doing hard work. Like, you need to go to sleep. You can't do more than a certain amount of work a day without it becoming pretty inefficient. What's up, Owen? What is it called? It's bothering me. What did I accomplish? Well, I'm officially recording the video next week, so I'm pretty excited for that. Very, very excited. So, metabolic waste. It's like that fluid that people have accumulate over time, right? And as you get older, some older people get dementia because of this, like, it's been linked to this fluid that can't be cleared if you don't sleep. And when you get older, you tend to sleep less, especially when you get much older. So it's kind of interesting, like, the studies on that. So it's similar to that. But yeah. Maybe, you know, maybe odd. But I think if you're making a ton of decisions throughout the day, it's gonna happen. Maybe not brain fog specifically, but you're gonna be exhausted, like, mentally not be able to make a lot of decisions. So, yeah. But with brain fog, yeah, there's certain things that you do that cause it. In like my experience, at least, what I've noticed, are things I do specifically. So, just try to avoid doing those things. Yeah, that's good. But I think in general, like, the more complicated the job, like, the more decisions, it'll eventually burn you out throughout the day. Yeah, I know sugar can cause brain fog pretty quickly, which I do agree with. And certain food, I think that's harder to digest, could do that too. Like, as you notice, was if you eat certain meals, you start to feel kind of sleepy, like you want to nap after. Not even stress specifically. When you're learning something new, your brain is working much, much harder than when you're doing operational tasks. Like, I think in general, people tend to just get more exhausted quickly. Although some people can obviously go for much longer, I'm assuming. I don't think it's the same for everybody, but it does take much more energy. But yeah, I do think stress is maybe a different category. Some people do. I think there's, like, good stress and bad stress, right? So good stress, I think, is pretty important. What's up, Juan? Yeah. Yeah. As most things aren't the same for everybody. But yeah. Yes, some people are machines and some people are on coke. Sometimes you can't tell the difference. Yeah. Fair enough, Axis. Well, today I will be playing some Rapid. What's up, Ditto? So I'm excited for that. So we're gonna go ahead and do some of that. One sec. Okay. Coffee doesn't work for me. Like, if I'm tired, I'm gonna be tired regardless if I have coffee or not. It doesn't make me more efficient. So it's interesting, like, looking into the work, or not the work, sorry, the research on brain and energy, like how much energy it consumes. And so I think it would be interesting to know, like, how much it consumes different, like, doing different tasks in a day to better understand how to structure your day as well. which is interesting. I know that you're supposed to do like very creative tasks in the morning, but have you read all? Not all of them. No, no, no. But a lot of them I have read. Mm-hmm. Let me see. Yeah, I don't think it would be possible to do creative work all day. I think it would just require way too much energy nobody has. But I'm speaking like work that is intensive, requires a lot of learning, which maybe Tom can like give you guys his input on that too, because I know Tommy, you've done a lot of like learning. You spend like hours upon hours every single day learning new things for a lot of your projects. So I'm curious on your opinion on this too, like how you've managed all of that too. Oh, nice spin. Honestly, sometimes that's nice. What's up, Swift? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't finish that one yet either. I think I got close, but yeah. So, yeah, learning can be pretty exhausting for sure. So, I think when you mix learning with decision making, like when you're learning at the job, that is very exhausting. Personally for me. But anyways, what helps? Playing chess doesn't make you smart. No. Doing what, Hightower? I didn't match it, Myers. My nails are just red. It just matched one time out of the month. Yes. Okay, just saying over the board tournaments are brutal. What develops skills? Oh, you mean chess? It would make you better at certain things, but that would require you play classical chess, and most people do not play classical chess. Why are you quitting chess, Chris? What's up, Theron? Okay, I know I'm tired because I'm having a much more difficult time triple tasking. Like, when I'm streaming, right, I'm focusing on like multiple different things. And there are days where I can keep up very, very, very well. And then there are days where I'm like slurring. And today is one of those days where I'm like trying to articulate what I'm gonna say and I'm failing. No, Bullet wouldn't. I don't believe Bullet does shit for you. I don't think it does much for most people. Absolutely not. Bullet is one of those things that you can keep playing over and over and over again and making the same mistakes over and over and over again. And you don't really get much from doing repetitive tasks where you're making the same repetitive mistakes. Yeah. Well, the thing is, like, you are sharing an opinion and not a fact, so I don't have to believe that. You don't have to believe what I'm saying either. But yeah. Right, but that's what Bullet enforces. A lot of times that's why Bullet is not really something that would help with many skills. Like, honestly, I want to hear one thing it would help you with specifically. Like, I'm very curious because there's not enough time to make a decision in Bullet chess. And unless it's intuitive and you already practice, you studied and you understand the patterns, which then you can really link that to the studying, not the Bullet chess itself. You can't. Yeah, but intuition is built through experience too, like through patterns. Yeah, I guess, but the problem with even patterns and like good patterns is that you can fall into bad patterns with Bullet chess. That's the problem with it. So like for me, yes, you can learn patterns through Bullet chess, just plain Bullet chess. but it's like a matter of are they good or bad? Like, what's the balance? It's not, you can learn through everything, but some stuff is not as efficient. Like, you wouldn't learn certain ways because they're just not as efficient. In fact, they're probably more detrimental than anything. No, it's much more difficult to fall into patterns or bad patterns than like classical chess. No, I don't, it doesn't make sense. So apply what? Like, what's there to apply? I'm just like looking at the process of bullet chess and how for a lot of people it actually hurts their chess. And like, in terms of what you learn from it, I'm just trying to figure out what that is. Like, what do you learn from bullet chess? I'm actually curious. Because it's so fast, your brain can't keep up a lot of times. And yes, again, you could argue that over time it starts to see these patterns, but the amount of times it takes to see those patterns with how it depletes your dopamine on top of things, I don't really see how that would be good for you. Because yeah, you can learn in ways where in 30 years, you'll understand whatever you're learning, but that's not really efficient. And that's kind of how bullet comes off. So, but I don't know, I'm curious about your opinions on this, but but yeah, we're not AI though. That's the problem. Hi, John T. Yes, exactly, Swift, and you can't really do that with bullet. Like, this is coming from somebody who started off playing long form games versus moving on to bullet for like a few months. Just, I don't know if there's much that I got out of it besides possibly building confidence to a certain degree. Sure, it doesn't mean that there isn't any value, but you still have to be able to recognize the value if you're going to argue that there is value in it, is all I'm saying. So like, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying, what is the value? Because yes, you don't always see it, but that doesn't mean that it's always there just because of the idea that sometimes you don't see what value something provides for you. Yeah. So I'm curious. Well, that's fine. Does not mean there's no independent variables there. Like, okay, you have your anecdotal evidence and I have mine, but again, that doesn't really mean much, like a sample size of one. I'm just like trying to understand, instead of speaking in these like, I don't know, these like, this is like very vague right now. I want to hear what value there is. And I want to hear your opinions. I do agree with that. I do think that it definitely could help with time scrambles. Yes. But my argument really is that there are certain things that are more detrimental for you than the benefits you get from it, right? Like, because everything most of the time has pros and cons. The question is like, how many cons are there versus how many pros are there? And bullet to me is one of those things that does not have a lot of pros. Obviously, like within reason, because like we need to like break it down further and be like, okay, this is applied to like lower rated players versus like high rated players, right? So, dude, the fact that you're even close to 2,500 is very impressive. You should be proud of yourself. I did go out this weekend, yeah. Yeah, most chess pros, because they've been playing for a long time. It's very, very, very different than when you're learning something. So yeah, like, that's the problem, Lub. Like, to me, there's so many things about bullet that make it bad, that even if there are things that are good about it, I highly doubt that they outweigh the bad things. Because they can make you fall into very, very bad patterns, because they reinforce bad patterns because you're repeating them over and over and over and over again. Not to mention the way that you react to it. The way that it's very similar to gambling, to where you keep going. Even if it's good for you, or even if it's bad for you, right? Like, sorry, again, I'm tired, but even if it's bad for you, like, you get that dopamine hit, like you go to the next, you go to the next, and it's just like it continues. And the value you get from those games you played in Bullet is not equal to the value you get from playing a longer game and really understanding your moves, at least like understanding why you made that move. Or obviously, if you're playing like Rapid, there's still not as much time, but you understand more of why you made those moves than you do if you play Bullet. So, yeah. So I just like, all I'm saying is that, but that's not how Bullet works. It's not about, again, learning from the losses, because Bullet gives you a dopamine hit. You keep going. The way that it affects your body, your mind, is not positive because it's an instant hit. Like, it's gratifying. So you don't stop after your game. All right. Most people don't. If you do, congratulations, you're a unicorn. But like, most people do not stop after a 1 minute game, especially when they lost. They're like, I'm going to analyze this. Plus, why would you want to analyze like low quality games unless there's like one specific thing you're looking for? Again, no, that's still not, it shouldn't, blah, blah, blah. It's not the point. The point is the way that it affects you, in my opinion. Like, you should do a lot of things, because at that point you can say, okay, you should be analyzing your Rapid games, which, by the way, are much, much more valuable because you actually like spend more time making your moves, so your moves make much more sense and you can justify them and then understand why you made those moves and why you didn't make certain moves, versus a Bullet game where it's like, oh, well, I made this move because I was like afraid of the clock. Just doesn't make sense. Yes. Well, no, it is pretty inherently flawed. It's not just about flawed actions. It's the way, I think it comes down to human behavior and psychology, really, with how certain things affect us, right? Just like how gambling affects people, and how things like, again, like scrolling through your phone affect you. Like, it's better to not do those things in the first place because they will affect you a certain way. So yeah, exactly. Like, openings, I agree, Zev. I'll analyze my openings for Bullet, but there's not as much value in the middle game or end game, absolutely. But that's it. Like, that's the point, though. Like, but again, like, it just comes down to benefits versus cost, I guess. Yeah. All right. Why isn't Myers banned yet? All right. Like, you've just been simping the whole freaking time. This is a chess stream. This is not OnlyFans, homie. Just somebody ban him. I just need him gone from here. I'll do it myself. Jeez. So annoying. I was trying to be nice, but like, it's just annoying. It's very annoying when this guy's talking about, oh my god, you look so good. You look so good. Thank you for dressing it for us. And then something about, you know, NUTTING, and then like all that other crap. Anyways, wrong stream. I don't like have a... Yes, that's fine. But you want to do that for Rapid because it's much more beneficial. Because everything in life is about energy and time spent. And you want to do things in a way that's as efficient as possible. And I'm arguing that studying Bullet games is not that efficient after a certain level or degree, right? Like, for openings, yes, maybe. To a certain degree, like analyzing it very quickly, that's it. Like, you can argue whatever you want, but it's very much not efficient. Like, it is not. Right. Like, you can just start applying, I think, human behavior into this too. Like, and then like understanding why certain things, right? How do I explain this? I should not be talking about this when I'm exhausted, but like certain things like that we do like why certain things are more effective than others are. Because it's much more than just like, oh, you should or should not have done this. It's much more than just like, how do I put this? Like, I don't know. You get it though. No, that's again like that's I don't know about that. Yeah, I don't know about that maze example with bullet chests, I'll be completely honest. Like, because a maze is much less complex than something like chess. No, I do not think you can compare the two. You just, no. But perhaps it could really depend on the person, but I do not believe most people can learn well by playing bullet. I don't believe that. I know people who also play a shit ton of bullet. They don't really study chess, right? And it doesn't really help them. Like, I don't know how it would, because unless I guess you sit down and study, but again, I don't know why you would like study bullet games. Changes every time you go in. That's kind of how it is, like, you know? Right. Yeah, I don't think playing standard without studying helps either. I agree with that. But I think that you want to study the game that's as high quality as possible. Starting with classical and then rapid, blitz, and then bullet. Bullet games are the least quality games. No, the issue is bullet. The issue is both, but it's still bullet. We can remove the studying aspect of it. The issue is still bullet because of the way bullet affects humans. Like the way that playing that game, right, bullet specifically affects people. It's a quick reward. Whether you lose or win, it's still a quick reward. It's not good for you. Yes, it doesn't matter. I know what you're saying, but it still does not change the fact that it does mess with your dopamine quite a bit. Okay. I don't believe Hikaru did that. Like, Hikaru played since he was a child, right? Like, he may have done that, perhaps, but how much did he study prior to that? But, okay. All right. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe just, like, playing thousands of games and studying all of them works, right? Which I'm not saying it doesn't. I just don't think it's as effective as playing like a classical game. But also, I don't believe that most people would analyze bullet games because people aren't like, it's very, very difficult to do something like that. Yeah, like that's the problem. Like you want to set yourself up to be in a position where you're more likely to actually analyze the game. And bullet is not that. Yeah. And again, that's why I was mentioning earlier, if we're talking about bullet and bullet helping people improve, it's a matter of rating. Like I mentioned that we can't like put everybody in like one category. You can't put a beginner in the same category as a professional chess player or expert, right? Like, I think that maybe as an expert, maybe it helps. I don't freaking know. But, like, I know it definitely does not help you as a beginner. Very, very unlikely. So, yeah. It's more than not analyzing, though. I've been trying to explain that. But I don't know how else to explain that. Maybe somebody in chat can explain it better. It's just a matter of setting yourself up to be in a position where you're going to make the best choices possible. And you're going to learn as efficiently as possible, right? That's what it comes down to. And is bullet a position where most people will learn as much as possible or learn at the fastest rate possible? That's my question. So, like, why put yourself in a situation where you're tempting yourself to make bad decisions. All right? Like, that's what you're doing with Bullet, though. Because Bullet's very fast. And you just keep going and going and going. But, yeah. Yeah. But, sure. Maybe if you're somebody who can actually analyze every single Bullet game you play, or most of them, like, that might help you out. Like, you might be able to improve that way to a certain extent. But like, what's the likelihood of that? And again, like, maybe some people learn pretty quickly in that regard. Like, maybe they could do something like that. I don't know. But I just don't believe it works for majority of people because it reinforces bad patterns. That's what it does. And you don't have enough time to reflect and to, like, you mentioned outliers, but the problem with somebody who's possibly a beginner, intermediate player is that we're still gonna play rapid. It can exist with just chatting anyways. Is that they're not really aware of these things, right? Anyways, I just lost my train of thought because of you, Pred. Right. Which probably is. I think that if you do analyze your games, you will improve. But what the heck was I saying? I forgot. Well, you gotta stay that though. Otherwise, it just comes off like overall Bullet's good for everybody. There's some context missing there. Yeah. I just don't see why you'd want to analyze a game where you're making the most poor decisions possible. Or the poorest decisions possible, which is what you are doing because it's not a matter of quality, it's a matter of time at that point. Like, why would you analyze? That's like, to me, unless, again, like, you're practicing an opening or something like that, or trying to understand the opening, like, it doesn't make sense because after that, you don't have enough time to actually analyze anything. To me, okay, that's it. Like, I'm just gonna stop there, but not saying you can't learn from it. I just do not believe it's as effective or efficient as learning from classical or rapid games. Not even insta ban. Like, you just wouldn't shut up and I knew where that was going. That's it. Like, I knew where that was going. I'm like, I was waiting for it. I don't even know why I bothered because at this point, like, I've been streaming long enough to know that, like, what to expect from people. Like, and sometimes, once in a while, I'm going to give them a chance. And sometimes I just ban right away. It depends how I'm feeling. But people like that, they don't get better. They get worse. Okay? Like, if somebody comes in here and right away they're, like, acting kind of thirsty, and that's the first impression, they're probably going to continue doing that and probably gradually get worse, which usually happens. Yeah. So, yeah. But anyways, obviously, I don't know 100%. Like, again, I'm sure Bullet can help some people. And I'm sure if it's done right, definitely. But just going based off of what I know about, like, you know, the reward system and how it affects people, like how dopamine affects people. And Bullet definitely releases a lot of dopamine. Instant dopamine. But yeah, we're gonna play some rapid. Yeah. It definitely has helped me in time scrambles. Like, it's helped me be confident, or at least more confident for a while. Right. Yeah. would say it does have its uses. Like, my rating did go up quite a bit afterwards, like after I started playing Bullet, just because I wasn't running out of time specifically, so that was nice. But anyways, we can play some Rapid. What's your rating at the moment, Odd? I know that you mentioned you just got to 2200 again, right? Right, Bill? Nah, Blitz is like the worst of two worlds. Oh, nice. Literally the worst of like two worlds. So is your Bullet rating higher than your Rapid? Classical definitely, in my opinion, has helped the most as long as you analyze. But of course, nothing helps more than just studying and then I guess analyzing your games, like applying it and then analyzing. Oh, not bad. All right. Well, we'll do some Rapid and go from there, you guys. Yeah, definitely. I don't know. I haven't really been analyzing much, but that's because I just like I only have so much energy in the day. Like that's it. Like I can't spend more than 3 to 5 hours a day doing like creative / learning at the same time. So exhausting. So exhausting. Eventually, like I'm gonna get back into studying for chess. Do you play Rapid on? Yeah, that makes sense. That's sir. Fair enough. But anyways. Why not do shoulders? Because that's kind of not the point. The point is I use up all of my energy in the day doing something else that's not chess because I have to do something else. Like I have certain goals I have to meet, and unfortunately that leaves no time for chess at the moment. I'm sure you guys know this pretty well, but chess does not make you a lot of money. So that's definitely a thing. But eventually I will, once I'm done with the learning phase for like video production, I'll get back into studying chess. But like I totally understand why people don't really improve much after a certain point. So you know that pretty well. Yeah, I try to apply Atomic Habits, and I think over time I like even before I read the book, like I've learned like the best way to replace habits with new habits, right? And like one thing I've learned, because I was like am into healthy eating, and like I try to avoid snacking, is that don't have it in your house. That's a rule I've like learned pretty early on, and then I'm just like, okay, like I gotta keep this going, because the moment that you start having temptations like that in front of you, it makes it much more difficult. Not impossible, much more difficult. Yeah, even 5 to 15 minutes. Yeah, I don't disagree with that at all, to be honest, but like realistically, I am probably not gonna do that. Not at the moment. Like, I'll do it on stream, but that's it. Let's play. Too much Bullet. Yeah, my days are a little weird. So, like, you think you'll have time and then you just don't. That's what happens a lot of times. You're like, oh, I'm already like late for this, I'm late for that, I'm late for that, blah, 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 blah. And then all of a sudden I'm messing up my sleep. So weird. But yeah. I don't know how like people cook and then go to the gym and then work and then everything else. Like it's a lot of time. It's So exhausting. Well, that's smart, Zoom. I mean, I do agree that that definitely helps a lot, and that's a good approach. Yeah. Mm-mm-mm. Definitely. Yeah, you gotta be very, very structured. But that's like to the dot, you know what I mean? But I do think that in general, it's still pretty difficult to do, regardless what you might think. Oh, that's hmm. Yeah, I went up quite a bit. And then I'll go back up there. Oh, I might win on time this game. At least that, am I right? I want to say something like this with the idea of like tempo more than anything. Basically, I agree with Lionel on that. It's very much is. And you know what? Life is also not linear. Not at all, really. Yeah, we got the scotch. I'm very tempted to play something like that. Like, I'll be completely honest with you. But I don't know if that's like pushing it. Bill, thank you. I'm gonna do it. Why not? Thank you so much, Bill. Let's go. I want to say this first. What is even happening? Hi, Lamb. I haven't seen a minute. How are you? Yeah. I mean, they just kind of, they did make it unnecessary. Yes, yes, absolutely. I mean, I know what's coming. Absolutely. So something like that. And then after that, they're gonna play this. All right, let me think here. I want to say this, and then that. How about that first? Nah, probably want to do something like this first. Because, I mean, the knight is still stuck, so why does it matter? Well, I already hit it like 4 times now. Eventually, I'll get back to it. So we'll see. This is theory. Yes. Very nice theory. Oh, what the fuck? Sorry. I may have missed that. Let's do that first. I want to say... That's really annoying that I missed that. Wait, I didn't miss shit. I still got this. I want to say this first. You know what? Let's keep this interesting. I'm over here complicating it way too much, let me tell you all that. I'm gonna say this. Or even this first. Nah, let's do that first. How about this next? Or even something like that's not the worst idea. But this. That. I mean... This keeps it, like, going. But it would be nice to do something like that, too. Although I like to just create more threats if possible, I'll be completely honest. Although I do need to, do something like that. Let's do that first. I want to say something like this personally first. Like that. What scared me for some reason. Okay, now... Like, I want to say something like this, but... I want to say this, then that. Mm-hmm. Okay. How about this, that, then a castle? I mean, we're up so much material, it just makes sense to do that. To be honest. Like, what's up, Vindictive? Well, a lot of people end up playing H6. Yeah, I'm gonna simplify. For sure. Absolutely. We have a knight, so... You know, my confidence is just low sometimes in this game. To be honest. Like, I want to say something like this, but... Let's maybe play something like this first. You know what? I like that. Let's do this first. Well, I want to say this, but then say they play that. Actually, we should be good, I think. See that? Because if they do this and then play that, I think we're fine. That... It's a little tricky though, because now we'll be fine. I don't care. I'd be super confident. You know, I've like had winning positions where I blundered mate and won, so I've learned not to be confident. I'm like one of those like pretty people who doesn't know they're pretty, but in chess, you know what I mean? Where they spend their whole lives thinking they're ugly, but like they're not. So yeah. I'm not saying all the time, but sometimes I am like that in chess. Exactly, Zoom. So, just saying. Da, da, da. You know what? Do I even care though? Why don't I just take? Why am I being like that? Sometimes I don't really know myself. Hmm. Honestly, I want to say something like this is not the worst. Or even something like that. And then that. Mm, meh, I'm gonna play that. Then that. We gotta get... Now we really do have to, like, play something like this. Okay, then that. Or even something like this, maybe. Alright, let's see. That. This. Okay. That. 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 This. Now we're good. Now this is over. All right. I knew that there'd be a 4 coming eventually. Hmm. 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 Does Pred get timed out again? Thank you. Oh my goodness, he just loves getting timed out. Jeez. Oh, Scotch game again if they take? Let's see if they play H6. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Hmm. Hmm. I almost want to play something like that. But let me thank you guys. Hmm. Like, I almost want to, but I don't know if that's a good idea. Hmm. Alright, let's try it out, because I don't play this position very often. So I'm a little bit, like, interested in actually playing it. If I'm being completely honest. Although I don't know if it's actually good, and I'm assuming there's a chance it might not be. You know what I mean? Hmm. There are times where, like... Sorry, let me do this. It's kind of annoying, actually. Okay, so it's not good. No. There's a trick to it. I mean, I want to say this, but then that's coming. I want to see. I'm still gonna do it. Mm-hmm. Probably not the best move, actually. I'm really having fun fucking up here, it seems. I want to say this. Mm, interesting game. For sure. Nice. I didn't think they would actually, like... Interesting. Want to say this. Hmm. All right. I want to say this now. Hmm. That. And then this. Because I'm thinking this happens and then... Why don't we... Yeah, why don't we do something like that? Or is that too slow? I'm trying to figure it out. Hmm. Why not? No, but then they can play something like that, and I don't like it. I want to say... Alright, I gotta think here. You know what? Let's do it. I want to say this is next. Why don't we play this? Because I see a lot of annoying things coming with this stupid move. But then... Hmm... Actually... Screw it. Let's play it. Hmm. Let me think. Like, I want to say that, but... I'm wasting too much time thinking. I think that we might want to do something along the lines of, like, this. Okay, 3 minutes. I can do this. Maybe something like that. No. What if I play... No. This really got me, like, messed up, I'll be honest. Okay. I want to play that, though. Man, let's play this first. Two minutes. Ugh. I want to say this, but I don't have a lot of time, so this is not worth it. I want to say possibly even that. But... maybe even something like this. I don't know! I'm having decision paralysis. That's what's happening here. You know what? No, it's just another tempo. Let's just do this first. You know what? Maybe that wouldn't have been the worst. One minute. Ah! This is what I get for not playing Bullet as warm-up first. I want to say this, but I don't really know, to be honest. Let me see. This. Let's do that. 56 seconds. Come on. I don't have time, that's the problem. Alright, let's do something like this, because I'm scared. Mm. Mm. Mm-hmm. I want to say that, but... let's do that. Okay, wait, why didn't I take that first? Damn it. Okay. Okay, that. That. This is scary. Oh no. No, I was running out of time. Oh, that's not even... Alright, let's play a faster game. I took too long. That was not good. My bad. That's the worst. Oh no, it's not even... I want to say something like this personally. But let's see. I think we gotta play this first. Do that. Mm. Like, I wanna do... Let me think. Let's do this first. And then I'm thinking this. I don't want to overextend, but let's see. Hmm. Honestly, I don't mind something like this. It gets the pawn stuck there. Just not bad at all, but obviously you have to think this through. Or even something like that. No, because then they can take like this. And I don't like that. Let's just play this. Okay. See that? I do too. I'll be honest. Hmm. Hmm. I want to say something like this, and then they do that, and that. Yeah, let's take. Although I don't know if that's good. Like, I want to say this, but then that's coming, and that's a little annoying. Let me think. I gotta actually think about this now. Hmm. Let's do that. Because I just don't really have time. Okay, and then I'm thinking something along the lines of this. Or even something like that's not the worst idea. Mm-hmm. Let me think. Because that's definitely coming. Let's do that. And then this. Okay. They want to play something like that. Which is fine, I think, because we're gonna play something like that anyways. So let's do this first. Let me think. Even this is not the worst. But then if they play that. Let's do that. Hmm. I can't take too long. Honestly, the thing is, I don't want to give up. Let's do that. Mm-hmm. 4 minutes. How do I have 4? I need to play bullet. I mean, like, I'm thinking of just playing something like this. Or I can quite literally just play that. See what they take. If they do that... Yeah, let's play this instead. Now I want to say something like that. Because we don't like that. I mean, I'm okay with something like this now. See that? Alright. Thought it's scary. About me now. I mean, I think we can play something like this. Try to... I just hope I don't get myself, like, pinned there for no reason. That would suck. No! Be positive. Not negative. Hearing about me now. Walk away. You know how. Please don't say things like that. Scares me. Alright, we gotta move. We don't have time. Don't care about me, no. Walk away. Alright, I'm thinking... Honestly, I'm quite literally thinking something like this. Let's see. Or that. Hopefully that's fine. Because, let me think. Yeah, I'll be fine. You don't mess with love, you mess with the truth. And then I was thinking of something like this, possibly. Or even that. Maybe this. I gotta hurry, so... Why I got you on my mind. Okay. And them talking. I mean, they just kind of pinned themselves, so let's do this. Send it. All right. I got you on my mind. Okay, that. Wait, why didn't I take? Okay, this is winning. Don't understand it. Wait. Let's just take, because there's no time. Oh, no. Oh, wait, no, we're good. Oh, phew. Somebody. How the heck am I still not winning this? Apparently I missed that too. I'm on the flag again. I'll try not to. I really will. I really, really, really will try not to. Oh man, I really will. Okay, let me think. Fuck, I don't have time. Fudge. I don't have time. Alright, I'm done. I'm mad. The freaking time, why did- Okay, I'm just gonna play some bullet because I keep running out of time. It really is. That's so lame because that was such a good position. I just like didn't have enough time. Wait, this is not 1 minute. How did I end up in this position? I don't understand. I was quite literally like, I put 1 minute on. The chess.com bugs are insane. Quite honestly. Goodness. Let's see that. And do that. Mm. Mm. Uh, hmm. Like, I want to say something like this personally, and then go from there. But let's see. So if I do this, and then they play that. Yeah, I'm good. I'm gonna play that. Mm-hmm. See that? Let's do that. And then this maybe. That. 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 This. Hi Theo, how's it going? When I'm wiser and I'm older. Didn't know I was lost. It's all over. I want to say this, but I think it might be more counterintuitive. Let's see. Like, I want to say that, but let me think. Actually, there's something better that I can play here. This. That's better. Da 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 da. Like I want to say this, but quite honestly, I gotta decide. How about this? Okay, I gotta figure this out. You know what? I think this works. This, right? That, that, that. But I also kind of like that. Let's not think too hard about it. And then I can either play this or I can play that. You know what? I think I'm gonna do that. No, I gotta think. This is why I lose. I think too long. But this is such a nice move too. I'm making this move. Like, I want to say this personally, right? But I don't think that's the move. I think this is the move. Make your hands clap. That's next. And then that. All right, let's do that. Let's do this. Well, actually, we might want to play something like that. But let me think. Actually, not the worst idea either. Just this. Yeah, let's play this first. I think that they could have tried to Mm-hmm. Let's do that. Okay. Let's do that. And then this. And then that, I think would be fine. Yes. I mean, this is an easy end game. There's no way I'm gonna lose this. Like, this is... But then I don't want to jinx myself, which I probably am doing. Okay, let's see. Let's do this. This first. Well, I was actually gonna play this first. I figured this would be a good move. And then that. Well, actually, we can play this first, and then we're gonna have two pass pawns. But this isn't too bad either. But I think that this might force them in a worse square if... but you know what? Let's play this first. Then that. Or even something like this, not the worst idea. Or that. Let's do this first. And then that. And then that. Alright, it's over. Alrighty, this is a good end. I'm gonna get off now. But good games, good games. Thanks again, Bill, I appreciate it. Thank you for the dono. We'll do arena anytime we reach all the goals, FYI. Yeah, simplifying honestly works the best here. But yeah, so this was fun. I'm kind of mad I lost the 2 games. I like polymorphy, but I feel like that's just cause I'm a noob. Do you know what I mean, Audie? To be honest, like, I like his games because they're pretty, but like, I think like as you get more into chess, you start to appreciate a different type of chess. But I might be wrong. All right. I'll see you guys next time. I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right. It was fun. It was good catching up with all of you. Not a noob thing. Touche. I did make a video about him. Good documentary like video. All right. See you guys next time. Take care, everybody. Have a good night. He was playing lousy players. Everybody was lousy compared to him.